All right. So when it comes to family, as you said, this part of the world is more. We are more focused on the extended family compared to the nuclear family, unless maybe recently the trend is beginning to change. But in the African setting, there's no way we can do without the extent of our family. What comes in mind is the health of the family, because should we lose a member of the family, the whole family mourns, and it's not healthy for the family. However, the primarily living on this earth, it all boils down to food, because there's a saying that you are what you eat, and basically for us to live, we need to eat, drink, in order for us to cherish or to nourish the body, the cells, for them to be able to function well, in order for us to grow and develop. And someone would ask, so the family setting, how is that important? It's very important. We want to extend it to the whole family, because if you are doing the right thing as a mother or as a father or as an auntie, and you don't consider the kids, at the end of the day, you tend to spend so much money on hospital bills and in quote unnecessary things, because the kids, if you are not so much, you don't have time for them in terms of their health, they tend to bring you a lot of problems, distract you even from your daily activities, your work schedules, or during your working hours, and it's actually bring this organization between the family, because there's not that stability, there's not that peace in the family. So it all boils down to the food, and food is related to your health. That is why they say that make your food your medicine. If you eventually make your food your medicine, you don't need any other medicine in the future.
Feed children anything?
It's not true. You can't just feed them anything, in as much as at that stage they need the nutrients for development, because they grow very fast when they are in that stage of their life. However, it doesn't really mean that you should feed them anything, because as an adult or as we age, we are exposed to some disease conditions. It's the same way some disease conditions are predominant among kids, or they are basically found in childhood. You don't really get them in the adulthood. And so if you feed your kids with any kind of thing, it means that at that stage you are predisposing them to whichever disease that is usually common during that stage of life. And so if you don't feed them well, you are predisposing them. And if you predispose them, that's at your own risk as a parent, because they tend to distract you. So it's never true. It's true that kids are active, and it's very good for them to be active, because at some particular part of their life or the stage of life, they become very hyperactive. It's natural, just because of the developmental milestones that they have to meet at every stage. So should your child be from 2 years, 3, 4, 5, and your child is not active, your child is always dull, it's a signal that there's something wrong somewhere. Even though in rare cases you may have kids that are naturally reserved, it's different. But we are expecting that at that stage of their life, they should be active. When they go to school, they should play with their friends, they should have good time with their friends. If that is missing, then the parent has to really look out for, ask the child what is actually wrong. They may be timid at a point, maybe due to the discipline at home, or maybe outside their teachers, or a relative or something may be intimidating them. So for that matter, they're going to be timid, not be able to express. But that doesn't happen kids of today. Kids of today are very expressive. They would like to tell you their mind. If you give them this, mommy, I don't like this, and when he or she says she doesn't like this, she actually means it. She won't eat, or if you force them, they won't. So it's never true for you to force your child to eat whatever you think they should, because you think that they are active. It's not true.
Okay, here is another scenario. You go to the supermarket.
Yeah.
You're wheeling the cart, the child, oh, I want to wheel, you do. And then everything they point to is sugar.
Exactly.
Everything they point to is sugar or sweet or something like that. How do you control what else can you do? Not control, but what else can you give them in place of the sugary stuff they're pointing at and kicking and screaming in the supermarket for?
Yeah, exactly. So basically, during childhood, cravings for sugary foods are high. That should explain why kids would go for such options, for chocolate, for pastries, for biscuits, because during that stage they have that the craving is very high at that stage of life. And so as a parent, that is when you would have to know when to give them. So when you go for shopping or grocery shopping, and then your child tends to pick sugary food, soft drinks, and things that are sugary, it's normal in childhood because when we tend to grow, such cravings decreases. However, some adults still carry it throughout their life anyway.
Chocolates.
Exactly. And so as a parent, you would have to tell the child. That is why this year 2022, you have to sack the brains of the children. You have to speak to them in a soft manner. You have to try to convince them, try to make the healthier options available all the time. So instead of going for the grocery shopping, you make sure you don't go to where the sugary foods are. You make sure that's the last place
you go
to. So by then the cart might be full, or the basket you have taken might have been full. So you realize that, oh, if she takes one chocolate, you tell her the basket is full, you can't take any more longer. So the next time you come for shopping, you're going to go there first. But the next time you come, you go to the other side first.
Yeah, so the fruits and vegetables side
exactly. Healthy juice, fiber-rich foods like cornflakes, wheat flakes. You have other options that are equally sweet but have fiber or have other nutrients that will counteract the sugary aspect. So when you're going for shopping, let's try and go to if it is maybe the detergent shopping is part of the shopping list. If you have other things that are not part of the let's say the food aspect, do those shopping first. Then when you come to the food, you have to prioritize them. Is it spices first? Is it the vegetables first? Then the beverages like Milo, the cowbell, and other which will cater for the morning especially will be the last option. So by then you just have to convince them that the cart is full, so let's go in for just the important ones. Then you tell them that, okay, I'll go in for chocolate for this, but these ones will be your reward. I think we'll talk more about it.
Yes.
How to convince kids to reduce the sugary foods. It can be, you can tell them that when you eat this, chocolate is going to be a reward, and trust me, they're going to do everything possible to get that reward. And that is one of the best way to trick them.
You mentioned something I think is very important. We should all learn.
Yeah.
Putting your shopping into categories,
exactly.
so that you can start from somewhere that is not palatable.
Exactly.
Why do I like the word palatable? That is not very, they don't like very much, like detergents and all that, and before you get to the sweet parts.
Yeah.
So that if now that we're talking about sweets and foods and how to balance it, what is a balanced diet?
Okay.
We hear balanced diet a lot. But
lot.
when we hear the balanced diet, we don't know what goes into the balanced diet.
Exactly.
Like, oh, you have to eat there's vitamin C. What is the vitamin C in food? What is the vitamin whatever in food? So
Exactly.
what is a balanced diet? And please tell us which foods can be found on a plate that makes it balanced.
Okay. All right. So that brings us to healthy eating place.
And that is for everyone.
It's for everyone, for kids,
yes.
it's for the whole family, the entire family. So when we talk about balanced diet, I think basically when it comes to our local setting, people tend to mistake some foods which falls in the same category as being balanced. So when you talk about balanced diet, it's a kind of food or a kind of plate that should have all the food sources. I mean, your carbohydrates, your protein, fat and oil, minerals and vitamins. Then you have your water for hydration. So when you talk about healthy eating, these are what you should consider. At least more than 3 of them makes your meal balanced. In extreme cases where you can't really afford everything, but you should at least have your carbohydrates for your energy, have your protein that where you can help to repair worn out tissues, help to build your muscles for strength. Then you have your fats and oil. They also help to build your cushion around your delicate organs. You need fat. Of course, fat is good, but too much of it or excess of it is what you have an issue with.
Okay, you've mentioned fat, carbohydrates and all that. On my plate,
Okay.
say I'm at home,
All right.
or I go to even an event and
Yeah.
there's a buffet.
Exactly.
On my plate, what is my carbohydrate? Example of a carbohydrate.
All right. So let's take fried rice for an example.
Okay.
But that's what is more common these days.
Yeah.
All right. So when you have your fried rice, of late, I see some changes. Vegetables are being mixed with the rice. They call it vegetable rice, and you have your grilled chicken or your fried fish or your grilled turkey or sausage, gizzard. Some would like to add fried plantain.
That is your protein?
No, I'm trying to, okay, you want to have a fair idea about how the plate will look like.
Yeah.
They will now categorize which what each of them represents,
okay,
on the plate.
That's fine.
All right, so the fried rice, you have your rice with your vegetables, and then you have a separate bowl for your salad. You have a grilled chicken or grilled fish, or some may go for sauce, beef sauce or chicken sauce. It's also another one. Then you have fried. Some would like to make the plate attractive or palatable, as you said, and so they have some extra like fried plantain, fried gizzard, a bit of sausage. You see, some would want to have a bit of everything on their plate. Now let's see what each represents. Your rice represents your carbohydrates, which basically gives energy.
Okay.
That is the calories you need for your daily activities. Then the vegetables that you have in there, or the salad that you are adding. Not really considering the dressing, like the sour cream, the baked beans, the cornflakes, the bacon or the tuna flakes and all that. But I'm considering the vegetables itself, which may be lettuce, carrot, beetroot, green pepper, shallots, and other ones. Those ones represent your minerals and vitamins.
Oh.
So you get minerals and vitamins from them, and some are also rich in antioxidants. Then you come to your grilled chicken, your grilled fish, or your grilled fried fish, or whichever, sausage, gizzard. The gizzard are part of the offals. Now the offals, some even add liver. So offal is a collective name for gizzard, liver.
Things that are found inside the animals.
Exactly. So some would like to add liver and then gizzard. They are also sources of protein. So your fish, your meat, your chicken, your beef sauce, you get all that. I think some of the beef sauce, they add green pepper, they add some vegetables,
carrots or onions,
yeah,
and all that.
Exactly. So you still get your minerals and vitamins from there as well. Then if you have your fried plantain, it's also another source of carbohydrates and fat and oil because it's being fried. A bit of shito and a bit of stew. Some will usually prefer shito with their fried rice. It's another source of fat and oil because there's oil that used in the preparation. If natural spices are being used in the preparation of the shito, you get some bit of some minerals because the process of preparation of the shito, by the time it's done, some of the nutrients may be denatured, and so you just get a few of them.
I'm just thinking about, we'll come back to this, but I'm just thinking about how long it takes to make shito. Don't we lose everything? Because I think everything is lost.
Yeah, eventually not everything is being lost, but some of the processes, some would want to keep the oil very hot. That's another process that is not good. Keep your oil very hot before adding the ingredients to it. Then some would also use the tomatoes or the tin tomatoes. They would want it to be well cooked before they add. It's because of the process. That's why you don't have to just take shito as the main source of your stew.
Oh, okay.
Or as a main source to complement whichever rice. So you need to add your vegetables. So whichever minerals and vitamins are lost during the process or the preparation of the stew or the shito, you got to replace it with your fresh vegetables.
So your fresh